Friends. I am Sabrina Kemper, and this is Up Close and Personal with Nichole of the Tampa, Florida Corps. She's amazing. She's an incredible dancer. She's been leading dance ministry there and helping with theater ministries there for the past at least year, right?
About a year, yeah.
Also helps us with our divisional creative arts ministry. She participated with our adult team, and she helped lead dance ministries for Innovate and Illuminate. So you've probably seen her around. She's amazing, and we're going to get into it. Are you ready, Nichole?
Yes, I am ready.
Awesome. So to start, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born, your hobbies, and how you began your artistic journey in music and the arts?
So I am a local Floridian, born and raised in Tampa. So everything that I grew up and my friends, my family, we're all in Florida. So I stayed local. I grew up with my mom and my dad, and I have an older sister and a younger brother. My family, we always like to do activities. My brother was very much in sports and athletics, and my sister was very creative. Like, she loved to draw. She is an amazing singer. So I kind of had to find a balance in between all of these like really talented people. So I found I did have a love for sports. I played volleyball for a number of years, I think like 2 years. And I don't know, I've always wanted to be a singer, but my sister kind of took that spotlight. Like, her voice was just so much more powerful than mine. I have like a soft and, I don't know, quiet voice. And I feel like it just couldn't hear it through the mic. So my sister took the spotlight, but I ended up being like a little backup dancer. So yeah, my family just loved to perform in front of like family gatherings or parties. And I just felt like music was really in like my family culture. I started my dance adventure. My mom actually put me to a Filipino cultural dance company. I danced with them for maybe 3 years, around 2006. So I was really into my culture and the language and the history of the Filipino, heritage. But yeah, it grew from there. A lot of my fellow dance mates really wanted to be involved in hip hop. So we kind of got our own little group and just like started making choreography and like listening to music. And it kind of started from the Filipino cultural folk dancing to street hip hop. But I never really took any dance classes. I'm not technically, like, I don't have any fundamental. I never took ballet or jazz or anything like that. So all of my knowledge was basically like what I learned from my friends or choreographers that I saw on YouTube or, you know.
Well, and that's awesome. It sounds like a lot of your knowledge was just like innate, not only in you, but in your friends. And it just kind of was who you guys were. And I've seen you dance, and you're phenomenal.
Oh.
Well, that's just a lesson, kids. You don't always need to take a class.
Yes.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about how a lot of the influence came from your friends. So we'll go ahead and segue into this question of who has been the greatest influence in your life as it relates to your artistic journey?
So I was a quiet person, and I like to listen more than I like to, actually do stuff. And so I had a lot of doubt, a lot of people that doubted me. And I kind of took that mentality and kind of just like fought against people. So I would say like, a lot of people would say, oh no, you can't do that, she's too shy. I'm like, okay, watch me. And kind of,
Yes.
I use that as like my influence to like just surprise people. Like I grew older, I met a lot of people that inspired me here and there. And I joined this competition group in Orlando. Um, and my dance director, he actually is one of my biggest motivations, I would say, throughout my dance journey. And he, like right in the beginning, when he was developing this group, he always asked us why, why are we doing this? Why do we go to rehearsal when we're not getting paid? Like, why are you here? And, at the time, my reason was I already had like a 2-year-old, I think she was 2 or 4-year-old daughter at the time. And my answer was, it's for her, like that you can't listen to everybody, what everybody says, you can do anything that you want to do. And so I use that as my why. So I would say his name is Ben 10. That's his dancer name. So
I'm literally typing it down when you said Orlando. I was like, oh, another contact.
yeah.
So thanks for sharing, Ben 10.
Yeah.
So we heard how Ben 10 was an inspiration to you, and I love that he asked you your why, because that's so important for us, especially those of us who are using this art intentionally, like within the 4 walls of the church. We know the church is everywhere. We are the church. But when we go in and we're like, this is going to be the way we preach the gospel and help to disciple others, knowing that why and connecting and understanding to it, it's so important. So that's something that I'm learning from you right now. I think Simon Sinek has a book called Knowing Your Why or something I've read before. So it's really cool that Ben 10 like challenged you guys to think that way early on. How would you say you encountered your faith in Jesus through your passion for dance?
So when I was in, I think around 8th grade, I was introduced into this family ministry. It was like they had their little kids ministry, then there was like this little youth ministry, and then the parents were in this couples ministry. So it was like a huge family church body, and they had like multiple events, I guess, that had like different performances, and I got really involved in the song lineup or like how music blended together. So I would just sit into meetings, and I found my love for like ministry music. I started dancing with this group and like getting a group together to perform like skits or dances for the little kids like during their camps. And but yeah, that's how like got introduced into the ministry part. And like I was already developed in my hip hop knowledge, so I was able to take my knowledge from I guess the streets, like street hip hop, and connect it with the youth, and try to explain expression, because dance is very in a very expressive way of worship. So whenever we listen to music, I wanted them to, feel some type of way, or feel anger, or feel emotion. And that's what I wanted to bring into that ministry. To, you don't always have to be happy when you're when you're dancing.
And it's such a hard but an exciting job that we have with the performing arts of reflecting real life and all of its complexity on stage and through our art. And something I hear you say to the young people a lot is like, when I dance, it's like I'm praying. It's like I'm connecting directly to God. So would you share anything more on how your faith has grown as a result of your passion for music and the arts?
I mean, it's still growing. It's still a process. I feel like the more I dance, because it's very hard for me to like get my words together and then express it. Um, I get very shy in front of like public speaking. So like when I dance, I don't have to say anything, and like I could just move. Music goes a long way. Just instruments in it just hits a different certain way. So I feel like my knowledge in dance, and the more I learn in styles and expression and feeling, I feel like that ties in with how I can connect with my faith, and like how everything that's going on in my life, I need to express it and find a way what God is trying to, say to me,
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's still a growing process. So,
We're going with you, Nikki, girl.
yeah.
Would you say that there's a scripture verse in the Bible that has been an anchor for you throughout your growing
Absolutely.
process?
Yes. So this is a very generic Bible verse, but back in high school, I went through a lot of changes and like trials, and I don't know where I saw it from, but it's printed everywhere. Philippians 4:13.
Mm-hmm.
I can do all things through He who strengthens me, and I just felt like it's very like, oh yeah, cliche, like everybody knows that Bible verse, but I felt like it spoke to me 1,000 times more because of the ending, the part where it says through He who strengthens me. And like I felt in dance, a lot of the times you have to be selfish when you want to learn a different style, or you want to grow from one dance group to another dance group. You kind of have to be a selfish person to like pursue all these things. But as I went through my journey, I had to realize that none of these things were for me. Like I get my strength from Him. Like He's the one that's bringing me through all of this, and for what for, to bring it back to Him. So I feel like that Bible verse really helped me stay grounded in this journey in arts, and trying to pursue where I'm supposed to be and like who I'm supposed to reach to. It's for Him, and I get everything from His strength.
Amen. Thank you, girl. I was inspired by that. Thanks for sharing. To wrap today, would you just tell us some of your best practices for how you believe you can develop into a more proficient artist for the glory of God?
Stay hungry.
That's so good.
There's, I guess, like when you have a passion for something, when you want something, you continuously practice your craft, or practice His, like seeking His word, because I know a lot of times when you lose the fire or you lose the passion, it's not really there anymore. So I think just striving for that hunger to grow deep in His word, to find out His message, to realize why are you doing this. I think that is a good practice to have when bringing it all back to Him,
For sure.
But yeah, and stretch, eat healthy.
Oh yeah. Body, mind, and soul, girl. Yes, tell them. Thank you so much, Nikki, for being up close and personal with us today. We look forward to seeing how you continue to just enhance the kingdom in Tampa specifically, and throughout Florida with your gifts. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.